Security of lives and properties still remains everyone's concern. Why do you protect your informants?
We never divulge them. Like now, I'm telling you, I've never given you a name.
And you have a sufficient arms that can fight these vandals?
We have sufficient arms, even though we're pushing for more.
What is community policing?
A partnership between the police and the immediate community in which we are policing.
Give the police enough information to serve you better.
For sponsorship and adverts, call the following numbers on your screen. Watch Security Connect on the station.
Terrorism remains the worst form of crime against humanity, as the arts are often targeted at a defenseless population, often for flimsy reasons like drawing attention to a cause or inciting a political change or gaining political leadership. Some form of criminality in Nigeria, such as the gruesome activities of the Fulani herdsmen, ritual killings, murder, kidnapping, gang violence, rape, and all that. All these call for urgent concern as they constitute gross impediment to the growth and development of the Nigerian economy. The Nigerian police force have found out that crime control tactics need to be augmented with community policing strategies that prevent crime and reduce the fear of crime in the neighborhood. As fear of crime is a significant problem in itself, a highly visible police presence will help reduce fear in the neighborhood by getting community members involved. Community policing creates a new emphasis on making community members active participants in the process of solving community security challenges. The Nigerian police will have more resources available for crime prevention activities. Yes, the Nigerian police force will need to have more resources available for crime prevention activities, as security is related to man's state of well-being, because a man cannot be said to enjoy a state of well-being when his or her security is under threat. Good afternoon and welcome to today's edition of Security Connect with Vivian. On the topic today, we'll be discussing crime and community policing. But before then, let's take some commercial. Please don't go nowhere. We'll be right back after this time out.
Police, now your friend, yo. Let's join our hands together and work with police. Brother, let's make Nigeria better. Hey, let's make Nigeria great. Wherever you have been attacked, whether you are in a distress, if you suspect any crime,
he felt it was a normal posting, also felt it was going to be challenging, so he has to get ready and prepare for it. But as soon as he moved in, he was faced with challenges ranging from armed robbery, kidnapping, cultism, clashes between communities and all that. How he managed the situation and all that will come to you after this time out. He holds a BS in Sociology and Political Science from the prestigious Bayero University, Kano. He has many work experiences and have attended many professional courses. He is so passionate about security of lives and property. My guest on the program today is Bashir Makama. He is the Commissioner of Police, Benue State Police Command.
I'm CP Bashir Makama, Commissioner of Police, Benue State.
Recently, the IGP launched a bail is free campaign in Niger State. What would you say about bail is free?
Bail is ever free. It has always been free. The law that stipulates bail does not give it any other financial connotation or any string attached to it other than fulfilling the conditions of bail, getting a surety if it is such that the surety has to show with means of whatever conditions that are laid down for the bail is always free. For instance, in Benue State, where I happened to start the community policing project years back, they know me very well. Those of them that are still serving here know very well that at that time, once there is any condition attached to bail, they will go to that community policing officer. It is go and report there. And the moment I go into that place, of course, I will not leave there until that person is actually granted that bail, and then he goes away from that place.
What do you think people stand to benefit, and what do you think that the DPOs who are the ones handling these things got to lose? Because so many of them have been interviewed, and they say that bail cannot totally be free.
Well, I frankly speaking, there is no, I repeat, that there is no condition that is attached to bail procedure, especially monetary conditions, no. Anything that any DPO decides to do as in terms of collecting money or asking for whatever thing to attach to that bail is against the profession, it's against the ethics of the police, and it is not acceptable. If he says he's working on empty hand, well, it is not the bail money that will make him to run the division. But importantly also, there is need for him to enter into this relationship with members of the community. They know at all times what is lacking, so they will assist him.
And they can voluntarily
give. Voluntarily assist, not giving in the name of giving it to him to go and do it, to do it for himself.
Like buying of fuel for the patrol vehicles and all that, and then feeding the people in the cell and all that things?
No, feeding of people in the cell, we have a procedure to that also. Nobody asks you to bring money for bail because you want to feed anybody in the cell.
How about pen and papers, like writing of statements?
I continue to tell you that it's wrong. It's very, very wrong. For instance, if a DPO now decides to say, he's going to collect money for bail because he has to buy stationery, he has to buy papers and all, what does the Commissioner of Police do? He will also now wait for the money to be able to run the office. So it is completely out. And I, as an individual, aside from the profession and aside from the ethics of the job that we are doing, between myself, my conscience, and God, I've decided for a very long time. When I started this job, I see it as a humanitarian job I'm going to do, and then commitments to the service of my motherland. So I do not concede to that notion for whatever reason. About issue of bail, bailout or money here is pecuniary, is punishable today.
So what is the punishment for this type of thing?
Depending on the nature, it's a great punishment, of course. It's corrupt practice, and then corrupt practice, there are provisions of it in the Police Act, there are provisions of it in force orders, and even the constitution of the land is against this. So we invoke it, depending on the gravity, depending on the place, and also the circumstances. So you invoke whichever law that is applicable at that time.
Well, you just talked of community policing. How has community policing helped in fighting crime in your command?
Greatly. Greatly. Just like I said to you, I happen to be one of those first few officers that had the initial training in community policing and then wrote the project plan. If you have seen that Nigeria Community Projects Plan or Nigeria Community Policing Project, if you look at it, the fifth name there is Bashir Makama. That's a much younger rank at that time, and we commenced it. We went around, saw how it is being done in other places, and then came back here, and then bring out a plan of it which will fit into our culture, our system, and all, and then ensure that it is followed, because it is a kind of philosophy of policing that takes the nature and culture of the community in which is practiced. And that is why there are sharp differences in the way the community policing works in the UK, the way it works in the US, and the way it will even work in Nigeria. But basically, what is sacrosanct there is the principles, the rules of engagement, how you achieve these goals, how you get the people to do, takes the same form. But ultimately, whatever difference that there is just of implementation. But at the end of the day, the principles, the what you intend to achieve is the same.
Okay. So now I keep on wondering, what is the difference between community policing and eminent people's forum?
Community policing and eminent people's forum.
Any slight difference?
Community policing has not died. It has not died because some of us who are in command positions like this still implement what is expected to be achievable in community policing. Eminent Persons Forum, as I say, it's just a facet, a pinch of community policing. That has to do, of course, the eminent persons are community members. The eminent persons are also facing the same, the youth, the religious, the market, the motor parks, the students, all are. But when you talk of eminent persons, I think those we see them as societal leaders, community leaders, those who will come and then project, those who will come and those who have followers, those who can talk to people to listen, those that can come out to say, okay, we want to give you assistance in terms of those things that are lacking. So, eminent persons is just part of the community, and then whatever they are doing as in relation to policing the community is seen as community policing. Virtually all the societal facets or societal segments are part of it. So it is a holistic form of policing that has to do with everybody.
In Benue State, what are the most challenging crime situations you have here?
Challenging crime situation In Benue State, yes. I will take you a little bit back, but when we started about a year ago, when I came to Benue State, what I met on ground, we had a lot of cases of cultist activities. We had cases of kidnapping. We had cases of course, criminality keeps evolving. So they are there. And of course, there is no zero to it. So we met cult activities. Students are involved in cultism. Members of the community are also involved in it. You go somewhere, you find armed robbers, you arrest some of them, you recover weapons from them, you find they are students in most cases. Those that are not students, of course, they are practicing criminality. And those that are students will tell you, I'm not an armed robber, I'm a cultist. I wonder what difference that is. The moment you can carry this leather weapon and instill fear in someone, of course you are committing that crime, and that it's a crime that has been refused by the society. So the moment you do anything that is negative to societal expectations, it's a wrong thing. So we met some of these things, and we are on it, and we do not eradicate crime, but we manage it to that level that will be attained, and you will be able to achieve whatever set goals you have laid for yourself to achieve.
Yeah, because just recently, before you came, there have been records of even kidnapping and killings in Benue State here. But about 4 or 5 months ago or so, it has reduced drastically. So what magic did you use?
No other magic other than crime control and management, being proactive in whatever you want to do, using the community to achieve the goals you set for yourself, community members volunteering to also give you information, understanding the fact that if there is threat to their lives, then everybody, there is apprehension. It makes everybody tense up the system. So the need for them to know too that if we volunteer information to security agents, to the police, this fear of crime will be reduced. So we try as much as possible to reduce fear of crime, and then to detect those that are detectable, arrest those that are arrestable, and then the law takes its course.
Talking about community giving information, I keep on wondering because many of them have come to say, when we give information to the police, our lives is at risk and all that. How do you protect your informants?
Well, protection of informants is as old as policing itself. That information comes to you. Number one, you deal with that information in confidence. The informant that is giving you that information also should feel safe and free to give such information. So somebody who says you give information, the police will go and tell you. Number one, you must have gone to the wrong person. Somebody who cannot take decision even when he gets the information. Getting the information is different from following it up and then taking decision and taking action. So if you come to me, for instance, or the DPO, and tell him, that's why we insist that if you want to give information, go to a senior person, a senior officer that can take decision, that will initiate action and then follow up. So, and again, if you give information to the police and you feel the police will go back to relay the information to the criminal, have you kept that information to yourself in the first place? Because confidence starts from self-confidence. Have you kept that information to yourself? If you see the police, maybe after receiving an information and they go there, cordon a place, conduct search and recover, recover whatever that the information is being given as illegal. Have you kept that information to yourself? Because you find mostly you will say, oh, Mr. A will say, oh, did you see the policeman or the policeman in that house? They came, they arrested him, they recovered this, they recovered that. You will now tell him, don't mind him. He thinks he's strong. We shall show him this. He has given up himself automatically. That is to say, he had known.
Okay, but when you say that the person should meet a senior police officer, how many people have access to senior police officers?
No, you are supposed to be open. But I don't have to guard this door, because if you go to the police station, also I throw it back to you that there is no police station you will go today, you will see the door locked. You see those doors at the police station that are just for contractual.
I know, but you can't just walk freely
yeah.
and just be going, I want to see the commissioner of police.
Why?
It's not.
If my PA is here, if you come, you walked in.
I mean, to an average Nigerian, like a villager now, for instance, who really want to pass an information to you and he didn't want to drop it at the gate. Is your office accessible for this type of person to
absolutely.
come in
and that is part of the community-led policing.
Yes.
That there is accessibility to both the enforcement agents, there is accessibility to whoever that has anything to do with what you are giving. So everyone should be accessible. For instance, there is a standing instruction in my office. Anybody that comes to see me has to see me. Anyone that comes in here, he wants to see me, should be able to see me. So, and then if you are very conversant with the practices, the IG will always warn officers, don't make yourself elusive. You must be accessible. The people, the community members, people should access you, because you never know to what information they are bringing, either to save my life. So if I now make myself difficult to see, I might not get all that it will take to really help me to do my job. So accessibility is very key in body polity, especially in policing the communities. We need a lot of accessibility.
Yeah, right. So when we talk fighting crime, we know you don't do it alone. How do you relate with other sister agencies to do it here in Benue State?
We synergize. We work together. Here in Benue, that is what has been giving us the feats we have been achieving, if any. Because all the agencies, for instance, downstairs, I have what we call a joint ops room. A joint ops room is a place where at a particular time where there is any standard operation, everybody will come in there. You come in there, you take directives, take information from the different services, put it like a tasking room, for all agencies. They will come around, sit down, and then we begin to diverge. If I take information from you, we share it. If the other one brings, we share it. That one brings, we assess it, we share it, and then we'll cascade. So that's what we do here in Benue. And it's really, really working.
Then how about men? Do you have enough men on ground?
Men on ground? We have men on ground, yes. But it is not the number of men that really matters that does the job.
Okay.
The men can be there, and then still you'll be overwhelmed. So it is the management of whatever resources, which includes the men. that yield results. You can pile up men and men and men and men, and yet we are having issues. Even though I would say in the command here that we will require more men, but it doesn't stop us from doing what we are expected to do.
Then how about funding?
Funding?
Yeah.
Funding is a policy matter. I don't control funds, so when they come, we use them. We manage, yes. Whatever that comes, we manage it to achieve also the set goals.
So, on what area are you having a challenge?
Well, life itself is a challenge. To be alive is challenging. So challenges don't disappear. There are always challenges. And it's one's ability to withstand and work on those challenges that really, really matters. I've always allowed people to give me feedback and to judge me. However, I think in a nutshell, we have tried to control crime, and we have tried to allay fear of crime. We have tried to be proactive in attending to issues. We have also tried to carry, everybody along. That is when you achieve goals.
Okay, like for anybody who is coming into Benue now, what are you assuring the person security-wise?
Safety.
That means Benue is safe.
Absolutely.
For anyone who is coming in.
Coming in now, you are safe.
Addressing Nigerian security challenges through community policing is very dear to my heart. I also want to believe that as young Nigerians, the security challenges facing our country are worrisome, and so demand all hands to be on deck to preferring workable solution. Thanks for watching. Until I come your way again next week, stay out of trouble and be security conscious. I'm Vivian Owasanya.
Security Connect. Security Connect. Security Connect. Security Connect. Security Connect. Security Connect. We're here to educate you. It's entertaining, and empowering. We bring you the latest of security solutions. We help you protect yourself and home. Security Connect. Security Connect. Security Connect. Security Connect. Security Connect. We're here to educate you. Security